Welcome to Atlanta Tarot. This is the tarot forecast for this season of Sagittarius for the sign of Aries. Okay, quick shuffle there, Aries. Hope you survived Scorpio quite well. Also, the Mercury retrograde played some havoc with many things in our lives that didn't seem to work out or were too hard basket to get sorted, but in a couple more days, we're just on the end of the full moon here, so full moon in Taurus, so things seem to be a bit brighter the last couple of days, but still got a few more days of Scorpio left. Okay, so energy around for you, Aries. So we're going into fire, so your sister sign, brother sign of Aries, and it's Sagittarius and Aries. So energy around is the Nine of Swords. So look, take your head off, Aries, and I mean just don't think with your head. Fear for fear's sake is my interpretation of the Nine of Swords, and it sort of talks about being so busy in your head that you're probably not sleeping very well either, or you haven't been. I heard a few comments from clients that they had difficulties sleeping just before this full moon came about. So, you know, second week of Scorpio, because the full moon was on the 12th. So there we go, fear for fear's sake. So let's see what's been keeping you sort of head dwelling, as I call it. Let's see what's been causing you to be restless and awake at night, or waking up at, you know, specific times and thinking, what the hell? But as I said as well, it's a fear for fear's sake. So it's almost like, you know, a free-floating anxiety of a type where you're just clutching onto what could go wrong, and that probably has a bit of the effect of Mercury retrograde as we're still in it. This is where you are right now, Aries. So Four of Cups, so there we have it. Sort of, it's like that suspended emotional energy of thinking, oh, well, you know, everything's in my life's pretty good, but I'm feeling a bit of a disconnect with what's going on emotionally. Now for Aries, this is probably very apt, because being a fire sign, water can sort of suspend you. It can put you out. Water puts out fire. So therefore we sort of feel like the flame's sort of gone out a little bit. But this is the time, Four of Cups, just to have a look around and just think, yeah, well, everything actually is okay in my camp, in my place, but it's about sort of focusing on and honing in on what you have got and what to be grateful for, because this energy will soon pass. And I feel like too with Scorpio energy, that water energy, things do tend to, emotions arise to the surface that we don't necessarily want to, and then that gives us the disconnect. If you get what I mean, it just sort of makes you feel like, oh dear, oh my God, I don't like this. I don't like this feeling. So that's where you are right now. But, you know, let's see what's actually brought that on by the Influencer card or the Crossing card. And sure enough, Death, which is the card for the Scorpios, the major arcana for Scorpio. And as we know too, in the Christian world, this is Scorpio, you know, Halloween falls in the time of Scorpio. It's when the veil between the seen world and the unseen world is extremely thin. So lots of messages come through quite loud and clear. And this sort of can be quite disturbing for some signs. Okay, so, but basically the death just means a transformation is underway. And this, I guess this is what happens for most people in the season of Scorpio. Yeah, transformation. So, you know, just cleansing oneself, I guess. So see this as a really positive card, Aries. It really has. It's cleansed you for the next season, until the next time of Scorpio, when you'll probably get another good drenching, or conversely, when we come into the next water sign, which will be Pisces, you know, projecting forward to March. The background of the situation, Aries, is, yeah, and there we have the Ace of Pentacles. So, yeah, things in the background have been going really well, you know, in terms of putting in money, being, you know, available for projects, new things beginning, lots of new sort of energy there to sort of get things happening, but especially in terms of financials, this is very good. And just the material life, you know, things going well. So therefore then we come down to Four of Cups and you're just feeling a bit like, well, where did all that good energy go? Well, it's still there, but we've just been sort of going through the transformational Scorpio season, so that's just, it's almost like it's been on hold for a little bit. So this still sits here very much at the top of your reading, so it still has influence for you, even though, you know, it's been put on hold, it's still there. So once this season comes to an end in a couple more days, that will hopefully pop back in, but it's not about that. Let's just see what's happened recently for you and the world. So a successful end to a cycle, so the winding up of a cycle. It has a lot of connotations, this world. It is that final wrapping up. It's major arcana, so it has a lot of weight. So it's almost like, yeah, you've not only, you know, you're finishing something up big time, but you're also, you know, you've also been cleansed too with death and the Scorpio transformation card. So you can see it as what it is. But, you know, this is moving into Sagittarius, so don't forget. Then we start, you know, the fire starts again and off we go again with more energy to burn, basically, with Sagittarius coming through. The lesson you'll be learning in the season of Sagittarius, 19th of November through to about roughly 19th of December. And we have the Wheel of Fortune, so there you are. The Destiny card, so it's very much in your destiny. Everything is exactly as it should be. So don't go about, Aries, trying to sort of, you know, change things. It's about going with the flow, and this energy is really powerful. So if you have been putting a lot in, which I see you have, you will get a lot out. Conversely, if you haven't, well, you know that this won't be available for you just yet because there's something not right. But you know yourselves, Aries, what that particular thing is. Put in, get out. Don't put in, you don't get out, and therefore you sort of have to start again. So Jupiter very much too coming in with this card. This Wheel of Fortune is governed by the massive planet of Jupiter, planet of good fortune, opportunities coming in. They're rare though. They don't come around every season. It's like take opportunity and make the best of it. Near future for you, Aries, we have Page of Cups. So there we have it coming through. New beginnings, things starting as we settle into Sagittarius. New spiritual and emotional energy coming in. So the Four of Cups, where you were at the beginning, that sort of reignites itself, and maybe you've met someone new, maybe you're going to meet someone new. Conversely, it could be a new project that starts to the very sort of, it starts like a tiny little seed and develops into a massive tree. So it's growth in terms, you know, of emotional stuff, connections as well, naturally, with the Page of Cups. So whatever that means for you, but it's the budding of something really new coming along, and the connection basically as well. Let's see what's happening that you're not realising. King of Pentacles. So here's the card of the mentor. He's the person that we go to, can be the father figure also. I often see him as a father figure, whether he be in your workplace or someone that you really trust. Male, very much male energy though, Aries. So we can go to him and say, hey, what do you think about this? You know, what's happening with that? But it's a very emotional thing as well, and he's really good in this sort of sphere as well, because he's the architect. He sort of slowly builds things, and he knows that projects take time. It's not just this instant gratification sort of story that gets pushed around these days a lot. Yeah, you'll be successful, but yeah, to be successful it takes painstaking hard work and effort. So he's a really interesting character and someone to be going to for advice, especially pertaining to this new emotional energy coming through, whether it's a person you've connected with or a new project, a new adventure in your life emotionally. So he's your best friend really, but you don't realize he's here because he's sitting down here in that position. How others see you. Knight of Pentacles, so very much a slow moving energy, and it's interesting that that comes after the King of Pentacles. So as I just said, you know, slow burning, slow moving energy, but he always gets to the top. So this is how other people see you, you know, prepared to put in the hard yards, prepared for, you know, a 5-year plan with getting to where you want to go. It's not the Instagram, amazing social media, oh, look what happened, overnight success. No, nothing is further from the truth. It's like slow moving, slow burning energy, but you get to where you want to go because you remain focused. But this is lovely because this is how other people are perceiving you, Aries, so it's wonderful. So just keep that in mind, especially for you guys, because you're really not slow movers at all. Positive feelings. And we have the Seven of Swords. So who's sabotaging who? What's been something you're not sure? Well, you're positive about this. There's something going on. And Seven of Swords can be deception. It can be lying. Someone lying to you. Someone, you know, sort of deceiving you or keeping things from you, which is interesting. And also it can be you too, in a way of just feeling like, oh no, I'm not sure, and sort of lying to yourself or deceiving yourself on some level, Aries. So really sort of think about that. And obviously you are, because it's in positive feelings. Also can mean, you know, getting to where you want to go. Sometimes we've got to kind of go around things in a different way to get what we want. And because it always reminds me of a deceptive element, it's like, well, if you're going to do it that way, really, is it the best thing? Or would it be just better to just be how others people see you and just do it slowly and let things come universal, you know, energy-wise, you know, let it take time to get things done. But you're feeling positive about that. So we'll see what comes up. We'll put clarification on that later because that's always a tricky card. The outcome. And then we have the Page of Pentacles. So we're going back to earthbound energy in the season of Sagittarius. So lots more new things coming to light. Maybe a new job coming through. Different sort of set of, you've got a good formula there, Aries, but it may be something that you hadn't considered before, but you still have a very good formula for, you know, adapting to new circumstances. Very much this is also study, learning, you know, researching, all that kind of earthy energy where, you know, you can do anything you want if you're prepared to put in that sort of earthy energy and begin again and learning new things. But definitely it has the very strong element of new job, new things coming in, learning new things, studying new things, adapting already. You're already great formula of work and how you apply yourself for results to come, and then you can learn the new stuff along the way. Okay, so I'm using today these beautiful Visconti cards. So they're gold leaf, and they're also, apparently these were first published in 1452 AD. So they're lovely. They're all major arcana. So I'm just going to pop some clarifying cards on the Page of Cups, because that's the new. The Seven of Swords and this Page of Pentacles, because they're all relatively new beginnings of sorts. Okay, so let's see the clarifying card underneath, under the surface of the Page of Cups. And we have the Magician. So very much you've got all the potentials you need. Whatever this comes in the first week of Sagittarius, so like 19th to 24th of November, this is a really good card, and just it's going to take you to new places, but really sort of make you dig deep with potentials and sort of have the realization that you do have the potential to do this and make this really happen, this Page of Cups. If it's a relationship, on the other hand, too, it's quite an interesting journey. But no journey comes without risk, too. Remember that, Aries. So, you know, it's not your fairy tale. It's reality here. Beautiful card. Spirit messenger as well. So he's very sort of, from universe has sent this opportunity. Underneath the Seven of Swords, which was what you were feeling positive about, let's see, we have, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So there we have it twice now, and so it's like destiny coming through. So it's like, okay, Seven of Swords, are you really ready for this new opportunity? Are you going to do it the straight way? You're going to be straight up and do it. No need to be deceptive about it. If you feel like you're due this opportunity coming through, grab it. If you're not sure, maybe wait until later. But whatever you do, Aries, don't go in the deceptive manner and sort of think, oh, well, I can fudge it, or I can just sort of, you know, put a bit of spin on there and say, yes, I've done this and that, but you haven't really, because then it'll catch up with you. The Wheel of Fortune. So very much destiny coming in again. It's amazing. And under the surface of the Page of Pentacles, let's see what we've got. So that's new job, new beginnings in terms of study, learning new things, adapting your skills to new scenarios. We have the Chariot. So yeah, emotional discipline. Disciplining yourself, and once you've disciplined yourself there adequately, worked on your weaknesses basically, it's going to fly, and there's going to be victory and there's going to be success. So there you go. Have a really great season of Sagittarius, Aries. Thanks so much for listening.